Multi-generational planning. What is it and how should you think about it? We'll cover that in just a second. First, think about a friend who's being challenged with a what-if scenario that creeped into their lives. But you've made it a little easier for them by sharing our videos. We would appreciate it, as will your friend. I'm Valerie Zammitti, an estate planning attorney in New York and New Jersey, and we're here to educate everyone for free. So please share your questions, and hopefully together we're going to help some folks along the way. Now, every generation does impact the one usually prior and after. If you want to ensure a smooth transition between the decision makers from one generation to the next, and an even smoother process of handling the inherited assets from one generation to the next with, the absolute maximum protection possible, it's very important that you do speak with an estate planning attorney with some experience and qualifications. Now, even among spouses, when a plan is done ahead of the first passing, there's often very little that really needs to be accomplished at that time, and everything is still prepared for the next generation following the second parent's passing. In the alternative, when no plan is done, certain things can go very awry. For instance, we've had cases where an interest in real property was deemed separate interests. This is really two cases. Separate interests between the spouses because one, it was acquired prior to marriage and they never changed the deed. And the other was because it was New York co-op that they purchased prior to 1996 when the laws changed. Those details aren't necessary, but know that the interest of the decedent spouse was deemed separate from the surviving spouse. So it didn't automatically go to the surviving spouse. Now, this could end up having assets owned partially by separate adult children, which was one of the circumstances, because that was a second marriage. And that created some litigation, negotiation, and a payoff of the adult children, despite maybe the decedent's wishes that their spouse receive the home. This was a primary residence in that circumstance. And in the other circumstance, the part of the proceeds of the sale were supposed to go to a missing grandchild. They didn't know where this person was. We did the due diligence, couldn't locate them. They had some troubled past, and the state wound up holding those monies. Both real examples. So it is important when you're thinking about one generation to the next to get your planning set up properly, speak to a qualified attorney in estate planning, and get it done. And once you have done that process and found counsel that you trust in and feel confident about, you should introduce them to either the generation older than you or the generation younger than you to make sure that your family as a whole is protected. So we hope that you've learned something new here today and that you choose to share. As always, please take care.